What is it that you two do?
We're computer software engineers.
He fills my heart with very special things, with angel songs, with wild imaginings.
I should be dead.
He fills my soul with so much.
Have you watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith? And as you got from the preview, I'm not talking about that 2005 Brangelina movie. Today, you will be learning English with a new 2024 Netflix show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that blends such movie genres as spy thriller, drama, comedy, and romance. With on-point jokes and with the incredible on-screen chemistry between this ethnically diverse couple, it's just so worth watching it, and we couldn't help but bring it to you for today's English lesson. In case you're new here, our method is really simple. You will first watch the clip with the subtitles. Then you will learn all of the most important vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation from the scene. And finally, you will test your comprehension by watching the clip one more time, without subtitles this time, and answering some quiz questions. And remember to hit that bell down below so you never miss any of our newest lessons, because every week we help learners like you understand your favorite movies and TV series without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. Now let's begin with our today's lesson. I hope you really enjoy it.
With very special things, with angel songs.
Has Jane been able to let you take the lead at all since we saw each other last?
I tried. It's not my fault you have asthma.
Why even say that?
How is asthma relevant here?
She's just using it to cut me
Don't
down.
do the thing where you twist it around and make it seem like you're the good guy and I'm being bad.
I'm not. I'm pointing out.
I'm not the villain. You were the one who was actually
I'm not
mean.
the villain either.
Yeah.
How so? How so? Elaborate on that.
With very special things, with angel songs.
So we meet a married couple at their therapy session. They can't reveal their true identity, so they have to pretend they're actually software engineers. And that makes the whole situation so funny to observe when we know what they're talking about, but a therapist seemingly struggles to understand what's going on.
Has Jane been able to let you take the lead at all?
When you're in a couple or in a group of people, usually somebody takes the lead or becomes a leader. It's like in dancing, you have to trust your partner. By the way, there is another collocation that would be interesting for you to know: to follow one's lead. To follow the lead means to follow the example and do like the other person does. Let's break down the connected speech in this sentence.
Has Jane been able to let you take the lead at all?
The T from at stands between two vowels, so we hear the sound duh, at all. At has a schwa sound and is grouped with the two words standing next to it: lead a doll, lead a doll. Now check out this example from the show Lost.
You guys coming?
You all want to go? Fine. But perhaps I should take the lead.
Has Jane been able to let you take the lead at all since we saw each other last?
Since here introduces an event in the past, the last therapy session they had, and we use past simple to mark this past event. Since we saw. The word since means from that particular time in the past until now. So in the first part of the sentence, we use present perfect, has been able, to show the connection between the past and the present moment. Since last time and until now. You can see the same pattern in the following examples. We haven't met since we moved to her new apartment. I've been very busy since I came back from holiday. I've practiced my English a lot since I found this channel.
It's not my fault you have asthma.
There are two ways to pronounce this word, with an S and Z sound: asthma and asthma. Asthma is a medical condition that makes it difficult for a person to breathe.
How is asthma relevant here?
When you say something is relevant to a conversation, it means that it is closely related to the topic you're discussing. Here, the therapist can't understand how difficulty in breathing can be connected to their job as software engineers. Check how the word relevant is used in the legal context in this TV show, American Crime Story.
this is not a domestic violence case, nor is it an inquiry into the characteristics and personality of Mr. Simpson. And all this evidence that was submitted is not relevant.
Using it to cut me
Don't
down.
do the thing where you twist it around and make it seem like you're the good guy and I'm being bad.
To cut someone down means to embarrass, humiliate, criticize someone, or to make someone feel small. Twisting it around is basically changing the meaning of something or presenting the events in another light so that you look nicer than the other person in that situation. Or use it to achieve other goals. Here's a nice example to show how you can use the phrase twist my words around in your everyday communication.
You're breaking up with me?
No. You always do this. You twist my words around.
Don't do the thing where you twist it around and make it seem like you're the good guy and I'm being bad.
Normally, we wouldn't use the verb to be in the continuous or progressive form, but here she refers to the temporary situation. So there is a difference between these two sentences. I'm bad and I'm being bad. I'm bad means that I'm a bad person all the time. And I'm being bad means that I'm bad at this very moment, but actually I'm a good person and I don't act like that all the time. Check out these examples. Why are you being so rude? Please don't talk to me like that. Stop that. You are being really annoying. Oh, come on, don't be mad. He's just being foolish.
I'm not. I'm pointing out.
I'm not the villain. You were the one who was actually
I'm not
mean.
You are pointing out when you are bringing attention to something. Like in this clip.
No, I'm just pointing out that there are a lot of really great things here.
Villain is usually the bad guy or the antagonist in a story. Here it's metaphorical, meaning someone who's seen as a bad or mean person in a situation. Mean in this context means to be unkind or hurtful.
I'm not the villain either.
Yeah.
How so?
The word either is the same as also or too. So, I'm not the villain either means I'm not a bad guy too. We usually use it to agree to a negative statement. Like, for example, I haven't watched this movie yet. And the answer would be, I haven't watched it either.
How so? Elaborate on that.
When you are asked to elaborate on something, it means they ask you to give more details or explain something further. But when used as an adjective, elaborate is detailed and complicated. Note the difference in pronunciation here. Elaborate as a verb, so 4 syllables, elaborate. And elaborate as an adjective, only 3 syllables, elaborate. Check these 2 examples how these words can be used in these 2 different meanings.
It says here you were the CEO of Snaptime Industries. Care to elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, that was the umbrella corporation for my invention, the Snapper.
All part of my elaborate plan to defeat you.
Guys, let's review some of the words you've learned so far. Do you remember the meaning of the phrase to take the lead? Track the steps of someone you follow. Help your partner by carrying the heavy load. Go first. And what about such phrasal verbs as cut down and point out? Do you remember them? To finally remember all the new words and expressions that you are learning, use our flashcards on the Real Life English app. With the advanced technology spaced repetition system, you will take your vocabulary learning to the next level. And with the new blocking feature, you will easily remove the words that you already know, so you can focus only on the words you need. Search for the Real Life English app in your favorite app store or download it via link in the description to this video. And now let's watch the next part of the scene. Remember that the funny situation here is that the therapist assumes that they're a married couple, both working as software engineers. So she can't wrap her head around what makes them argue so passionately about the work tasks they had.
So there was a software malfunction. I'm saving the computer from crashing.
You always have to be first to troubleshoot a problem when it's fine the way it is.
I don't need a troubleshoot. I start at 0 and I go up through the codes.
You go up through the codes?
Yeah.
My files are clean. My
files are
fine.
so corrupt. The amount that I have to clean up after you is wild.
Really? Because the malware you have is incredible.
Okay.
Okay? It's crazy that it's still even running.
You're the one who did the thing after. That's the thing that actually fucked me up.
You never want to give me credit for anything. Okay? I'm good at pivoting. I taught you that.
I'm always communicating with you on the job. I'm keeping you in the loop.
3rd floor! Oh, come on. 4th floor!
Whatever, Jane. You're always the martyr. I get it.
9th floor! 10th floor!
I'm gonna kill us.
11th! 16th floor! We're heading out to the roof!
So there was a software malfunction.
When your computer program suddenly starts acting not as it is supposed to act, it freezes and glitches, that's when you have a software malfunction. Malfunction is another word for crash or failure.
I'm saving the computer from crashing.
Practice the American T or D sound in the word computer. Computer.
You always have to be first to troubleshoot a problem when it's fine the way it is.
So when your computer crashes, you want to troubleshoot or figure out what's gone wrong and how to fix it. The word troubleshoot may not only used with the technologies, it can refer to solving problems in general. So yeah, you may both use this word for solving problems and in the context of computer programs.
I don't need a troubleshoot.
In this word chunk, don't need, we drop the T sound and link the two words, don't need.
Your files are so corrupt.
When a computer file or program is all messed up, full of errors, and doesn't work properly anymore, it's corrupt. You can also use this word when talking about a person who is dishonest and broken morally, like a corrupt politician.
Last week, any day.
The entire archive's corrupt.
The amount that I have to clean up after you is wild.
Let's break down the connected speech here. Look at the phrase that I have to. That I. The T at the end of that stands between two vowels and we pronounce it as duh. That I. The phrase have to is commonly reduced to have to. Listen and try to repeat.
That I have to clean up after you. That I have to clean up after you. The amount that I have to clean up after you is wild.
Jane uses the word wild to emphasize how much she has to clean after John. She talks about a huge amount of errors maybe, and the word wild can be synonymous in this context to the words insane, crazy, unbelievable.
Really? Because the malware you have is incredible.
Malware are sneaky little programs designed to mess up your computer and steal your information. They're like the villains of the digital world, always causing trouble.
That's the thing that actually fucked me up.
Here we hear the curse word that is used in a way that is not insulting. So even Jane sounds rude when she says, this is what fucked me up. In this context, to fuck me up means to upset. To fuck someone up is to hurt someone emotionally or even physically, but it can also be said about some physical damage of an object or a person.
It's not fair, I know, for you to have to be the one to decide. It fucked me up, Saul. Being wrong about Brody, it fucked me up.
You never want to give me credit for anything.
John reduces here want to wanna, dropping the T sound, and we hear, you never wanna give me credit. To give someone credit for something is to acknowledge someone's efforts or abilities. It's like saying, hey, you did a great job on that project.
Okay, I'm good at pivoting. I taught you that.
When you suddenly change direction, especially in business or a project, you pivot. Here he may be referring to improvising, thinking on his feet, changing the initial plan.
Keeping you in the loop.
You keep someone in the loop when you keep that person informed and share the news with them. The opposite would be to keep out of the loop. It is usually about communicating some important news about the project or family affairs, but here the joke is that Jane was just naming the floors, 9th floor, 10th floor, 11th, for him to track her whereabouts and keep up with the pace, which John was obviously struggling with.
Very little social engagement. I know you're about to launch and you're keeping me out of the loop.
True. The party is tonight.
Tonight? What, you're going to tell me this never?
Whatever, Jane. You're always the martyr. I get it.
Martyr, or martyr, what a tricky word to pronounce, means someone who suffers for their opinions or their beliefs, or even someone who is being tortured for that. In a relationship, a martyr would be a person who sacrifices their own personal happiness or success for that of their partner. So as we see, John complains that all the credit goes to Jane as if he's not helping in any way, like he sacrifices his part of success so that she takes all the credit. Why don't you check out this example?
You just stop being such a martyr?
I am not being a martyr. I'm a victim.
We're heading out to the roof.
You can use the word head as a verb to refer to going or moving in a specific direction. So for example, if you head to the store, that means you're going to the store. Hey guys, that was amazing. Now, do you want to test your comprehension? Let's watch the clip one more time without subtitles now.
Has Jane been able to let you take the lead at all?
What did the therapist want to know when she asked Jane if she was able to let John take the lead? She wanted to know if Jane let John express his feelings and emotions. John wasn't aggressive in his communication with Jane. Jane let John go first and take responsibility for the situation.
Since we saw each other last.
I tried. It's not my fault you have asthma.
Why even say that?
How is asthma relevant here?
She's just using it to cut me
Don't
down.
do the thing where you twist it around and make it seem like you're the good guy and I'm being bad.
I'm not. I'm pointing out.
What does to point out mean? To tell what you think another person's point of view is? To bring another person's attention to some facts? To check how many points another person gained?
I'm not the villain. You were the one who was actually
I'm not
mean.
the villain either.
Which word can be a synonym to the word mean? Unkind, reasonable, meaningful.
Yeah.
How so? How so? Elaborate on that.
So there was a software malfunction. I'm saving the computer from crashing.
You always have to be first to troubleshoot a problem when it's fine the way it is.
I don't need a troubleshoot. I start at 0 and I go up through the codes.
You go up through the codes?
Yeah.
My files are clean.
Your
my
files are
fine.
so corrupt. The amount that I have to clean up after you is wild.
Really? Because
In this context, what does the word wild mean? The amount that I have to clean up after you is wild.
the malware you have is incredible.
Okay.
Okay? It's crazy that it's still even running.
You're the one who did the thing after. That's the thing that actually fucked me up.
You never want to give me credit for anything. Okay? I'm good at pivoting.
To give someone credit for something means give money to another person, believe what another person says, acknowledge another person's good work.
I taught you that.
always communicating with you on the job. I'm keeping you in the loop.
Third floor!
You keep another person in the loop if you share all the information with them, keep everything in secret from them, always keep an eye out for that person.
Oh, come on! Fourth floor!
Whatever, Jane. You're always the martyr. I get it.
Ninth floor! 10th floor!
I'm gonna kill Smith. I'm gonna kill Smith.
12! We're heading out to the roof! Die, motherfucker!
What? What are you saying? What was that for? Was that for you or was that for me? Oh, babe.
Die, motherfucker? Did I miss your first movie?
He laughed at me.
Holy shit.
In my face.
You learned a ton today, so now go to the Real Life English app to review all the words and expressions with the flashcards. And if you're choosing what lesson to watch next, let me help you with that. Here's another dynamic lesson that you might enjoy.
Released in 2004, National Treasure follows the story of Ben Gates, a treasure hunter who discovers that there's a hidden map hidden on the back of the Declaration of Independence. Riley is trying to tell Ben that there are many guards around the Declaration of Independence. That's why it's really hard to steal it. To be surrounded by means to be all around something or someone. It's just like the home theater or sound systems that people have in their home.